Hello, so is it worth being a driving instructor in 2025 and beyond? Well, in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts based on having been in the job for over 20 years, and this is unplanned, unscripted, but hopefully not uninteresting. I'm just going to sit here and share my candid views and thoughts on where the job is going. So, I started as a driving instructor many years ago, and it was very different to how it is now. One of the things that's making me consider if it's worth carrying on is the sheer cost of running a car nowadays. This car I'm sitting in is a 2018 Ford Fiesta, and I was renting this back in 2018. I had it in March 2018, and it was costing me, I think it was about £450 a month to rent it, and I went on to buy it, so I now own this car outright. It's mine. I love it, so I've kept it for 7 years because it's just such a great car. For me and for pupils, I've enjoyed it, so why not keep it? But yeah, the cost of a car now is outrageous. Now, I looked at some prices before filming this, and I just couldn't believe how expensive things have gotten. So, if you want something like this now, if you went for, say, a Ford Puma, which is the nearest you'll get to a Fiesta, because they don't make these anymore, I couldn't believe how much you think it was, right? This was $450 a month, and it went down to about $390 a month after I'd had it for a couple of years to give me a reduction in the price. How much do you reckon a car is now to rent for a driving instructor? A Ford Puma, nothing fancy, just a base Ford Puma. What's it, the titanium, which is now the bottom of the range, which used to be the top of the range, but it's now the titanium is the bottom of the range. How much does that cost? £800 a month. £800 a month just for a basic Ford. That's crazy. And that's on the low mileage as well. If you're on the high mileage, that's for doing 20,000 miles a year. That's just insane. I mean, the cost of the car and the fuel, if you're doing this full time, let's say you're doing 30 hours a week, you'll be paying minimum 200 a month for fuel, probably more like 300. I used to pay 220 a month for fuel, and I was in a diesel. If you've got a petrol, you're looking £300-400 a month for fuel. So your car alone is £1,200. Now, I have written a whole page on my website about this. It's a very popular and detailed page, so do go and check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. And you might think that I'm trying to put you off being an instructor in our video, on that page, I mean. It's not so much I'm trying to put people off, it's just that I want to be honest with you, because there's so much hype about be a driving instructor and you could earn $40,000 a year, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year. No, you won't. Right, I won't go over all this in the video because it's all on that page, but quite simply, they advertise high rates, like you could be earning £45-50 an hour. That may be the rate they advertise, but it's a bit like buying furniture. Have you ever been looking at buying furniture and it's like, this bed was £1,000, now reduced to $399, but hurry because the sale ends tomorrow, because it's got to start again the next day. You rarely ever get these headline rates they advertise, and some people work out their income. I don't want to talk about income much because it's only one part of the job, but it is a big part of it. You will earn, probably, if I'm being honest, and it's different depending on where you are in the country or how many hours you work, but you're not going to earn more than around £15,000 to £20,000 a year. Yes, there are instructors who earn more, but they are instructors who work round the clock, day in, day out. I wouldn't recommend doing that for health reasons. That's for another video as well. There are tons of spin-off videos I can do from this. That health problems I have had from being a driving instructor, one of them, losing my voice, like when I said health. There are so many issues you will get if you work lots of hours in a car. Believe me, when I started this job, I was a very healthy person. I still am, nothing wrong with me. But within 2 years of being a driving instructor, my health had deteriorated massively. And I was going to the doctor every few weeks with stomach cramps, different problems with my throat, my nose, stress, headaches. And I'm a very calm person. If you don't know, I also work as a hypnotherapist and a hypnotist. So I'm a very calm, laid back, easygoing person. Being a driving instructor is very stressful. One of the things that makes it more stressful, I'm going to take the camera off now, and I'm going to get off this magnetic mount I've got now, and I'm going to show you, if I do this, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you one thing that's going to make the job far more stressful. Can you see what's over there? I don't know if you'll see it on the screen. I can just about see it there by the lamppost. Can you see it? It's the 20 sign, an advisory. That's from when there were roadworks around here a few months ago. I'm just going to put the camera back on the mount. There you go. Hopefully that's back. So I'm just thought make it a bit more interesting if I move the camera around a bit. There is a thing coming to Birmingham where they want to make all roads have a speed limit of 20 miles an hour. Now, if you're not in Birmingham, it won't bother you, but it's already in London, not quite the same, but similar. That is going to make the job just impossible. I won't go over this much again, this is for a different video, I'm just touching on each topic in this and I can do spin-offs of each one. But even a learner driver on their first lesson will struggle to stay at 20 miles an hour. It's so difficult to keep at 20 because you're going down a hill and it's just brake or brake, 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 brake. And even learners are saying to me, I can't stand this. They're saying, look, I'm sorry, if the roads go to 20 everywhere, I just can't do this. Which is maybe the reason they're doing it, I don't know. But that's another thing to consider. The speed limits are coming down in many places and they want to make all roads in Birmingham have a limit of 20, apart from, they say, strategic ones, like the odd few might stay at 30, but they'll be few and far between. But that won't bother you if you're not in Birmingham. But will it? Because it's planned in other places. I believe Bristol, was it Sheffield, I think. There's a lot of cities who want to take it on. Other reasons for not doing the job, or the money's not great. But let's look at some positives, because I don't want to be negative about it. The positives of being a driving instructor, I've always enjoyed it. It's fun. It's just fun teaching people to drive. I like meeting new people, and it's such a laugh to just go and meet someone and just get them in your car and teach them to drive, and it's fun. I've always enjoyed just teaching people. It's just a fun thing to do. You are very free in terms of your flexibility. You can work whenever you want. Now, if you want to make good money, you're going to be working long hours and going here and there and dashing from one to another. It isn't easy to make a lot of money in this job, but that's not why I did it. I remember when I first became a driving instructor, I met another instructor at a test centre, and I remember him saying to me, he said, this job, it's great for, what did he say? I'm trying to remember now what he said, it was so long ago. He said, it's a great part-time job, but it's really hard full-time. And it's true. Owning this car means I don't pay a franchise, I've got my own school, I don't pay any kind of fees. Leasing, hiring the car, don't pay that, I own the car, I own the school, I own the website, it's all me. So I don't have any fees. I don't even pay for advertising because I'm just everywhere, people know me, so I've got it as good as you can get it, really. So for me it's okay. But if you're coming in and you're having to pay hundreds a month or even a week for a franchise and a car, it's really tough to do it full time. So yeah, it's great as a part-time job. It's brilliant if you're just doing it like me. Sometimes I do one lesson a week. That's all I do. I do one a month sometimes. It's just whatever I feel like. And I've checked all this with insurers and whatever, and they've said, yeah, whatever you want to do. 0 hours, do 50 hours, it's all the same. So I'm free to do whatever I want. But would I recommend someone doing it who's brand new? I don't think I would. And it's a real shame, because if you're coming into it now thinking, oh, I'm going to be an instructor and I'm going to earn loads of money, you're not. I mean, the only reason you might do is because so many instructors are leaving. And over the last 6 years or so, really 7 or 8 years, a lot of the best instructors where I am, they've gone. They've just said, I just can't stand anymore. They're bringing in this thing soon, maybe, probably, are they? It's been going on for 2 years, where they're going to record an instructor's pass rates. So you might think, people say, oh, well, that's a good idea because I'll go to the instructor with a higher pass rate. No, it doesn't work like that, because it's going to cause a whole raft of problems where instructors are going to cherry pick the best pupils. They won't just be teaching anyone. Instructors will only take on the best pupils, and if you're coming up for a test and you're not absolutely brilliant, they'll often just dump you. And I know, because for many years I specialised in dealing with pupils who had been dumped. Their instructors had just vanished. They won't answer the phone, won't answer their email, or I've broke my leg, I can't do the job anymore. And then they'd see them driving around. And I've done videos and all these things over the years. And I specialise in teaching pupils who are anxious and who had trouble and who've been dumped. So my pass rate will be lower because I take on bad pupils who are not very good at driving. And I'm a terrible instructor because I take on bad pupils and my pass rate's low because I've got a challenging pupils. But instructors out there who cherry pick the best pupils, oh yeah, I'm going to take the best ones. Oh, you've had 100 hours practice, or you've been driving years. Oh, I'm going to take the best pupils. I've got 100% pass rate. I'm the best instructor ever. No, you're not. You're rubbish because you just cherry pick pupils. You only take them for a test, knowing they're going to pass because they've been driving for years, and you take the easiest pupils. You're rubbish if you do that. But that's what I want now. The only one pass rates is all about the days. We want the instructors with the highest pass rates. And I don't agree with that. So I'm currently thinking, do I even stay doing this job? I don't need to do it because I do other things, as you may know. I think I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I did. I said, I work as a therapist. And I do other things, so I don't need to be a driving instructor. But I still enjoy it. Would I recommend you doing it new? If you're just coming into training now? Probably not, because it's just too much hassle. It's not what it used to be. But if you've got any quick questions, comments, whatever, do leave them below, and I'll maybe do some videos answering them, because many people do visit my site to learn about being an instructor. And I know a lot of people are put off, but that is not really the idea. But I want to be truthful with people, because these days it's not about being honest, is it? It's about say what people want to hear, toe the line, just say the narrative, go with the narrative, and we'll all just pretend everyone's happy when the world's falling apart and no one's happy. The more people are depressed than ever, the more people have got mental health problems than ever. But it's all good. Everyone's happy. Follow the narrative. Well, I don't do that. So I'm not really that happy at the moment, and if you can tell, I'm happy with my work, I still enjoy it. But if they bring in all this stuff about, 20 zones in Birmingham, and lessons are getting cheaper, the price of lessons has been falling because it went up a lot, then it's come down a lot, and I won't go on for too much longer, but I am thinking of how to change my driving school. I've been planning this for a while. I am considering doing something, a few things that would be quite different. And yeah, I'm just thinking, is it worth doing that, or shall I just stop it? Shall I just not bother? I think I'll be ashamed to kind of give it up, but I don't need it anymore. I've got a lot of big stuff going on in my life behind the scenes, which I won't be talking about for about another year maybe. But yeah, big stuff going on in my life, but it's more about you than me, so I don't want to get too sidetracked. But I am thinking of kind of First Drive 3.0, I suppose it would be. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Is it worth doing? Just about, but it's kind of going a bit... Many years ago, myself and other good instructors saw that we didn't see a hiccup, we saw that being a driving instructor is a bit like being on Titanic, heading towards an iceberg. And a lot of us saw the iceberg coming, and we got out, we jumped ship, we went off and we found our lives in other places. But some people, unfortunately, are still on the ship, dancing, singing. Oh, join us, join us. Oh, it's the best job. You can earn big money. Yay. What's that in the distance? Oh, it's an iceberg. Ah, don't worry. This ship is unsinkable. I nearly said something else then. Yeah, so what happened to Titanic? Where is it now? Yeah, it's not the end of the road. It's not quite the end yet. We've got that whole thing about electric cars coming in. Do people want electric? The cost of those. If you think that car I told you about earlier was expensive, you want to see how much it costs to rent an electric. No thanks. The lessons are going to have to be minimum £60-70 an hour if people go electric, because they're not cheap and there's so many problems with them. And I don't hate electric cars, it's just there are many issues with them. One thing I heard recently, about a week ago, there was a university released a study, whatever they call them, and what do they call them? Investigation studies. I don't know, when a university's done a whatever, they've done some research, and they found that apparently electric cars now create more pollution than diesel. How does that work? Because they've realised that the brakes, it's going to open the window because it's getting a bit stuffy in here. The brakes on electric cars apparently give off more pollution than the diesel exhaust. So when you're braking in an electric cars have different brakes to normal, standard cars, whatever. And they found that when you brake in an electric car, the brakes are emitting so much pollution and it's more dangerous and more harmful than the diesel exhaust. So it's hard to even become an instructor. It costs a lot of money. You're probably not going to make much money back. You'll suffer health problems. The car's going to cost a fortune. You'll have road rage and people shouting at you, punching you, attacking you. I've had it more than once. I've had that happen. You'll have to deal with car crashes, repairing your car, high insurance costs, high fuel costs. Is it worth being a driving instructor in 2025? Let me know what you think. It's not all bad. I don't want to be negative. I'm not just one of these people who, it's all bad, it's all down. There are people who come up to you and they're nice. I've had people who've come up and said, I've seen your videos, you're funny, I like your videos. It isn't all bad, but you've got to weigh up the good and the bad. And the problem is when you go for instructor training, they'll often only talk about the good. You can earn loads of money. It's all good. It's easy. They all say it's easy. Sit back and all you do is just sit there in a car being driven around. No, it's not like that. It's really not like that, I can tell you. So I'll start to end this video because I've been going for quite a while. But yeah, I don't do instructor training anymore. A lot of people ask me about that. Many people, I think, still want me to do instructor training. But I'll stop doing it because it was just so much hassle and I've got enough to do anyway. I've got my website to run, videos to make for driving lessons, videos for driving anxiety, hypnotherapy. I've got too much going on. So I've been streamlining my business and making it kind of easier for myself. But I'd like to know your thoughts. If you're training to be an instructor, let me know any questions in the comments and I'd love to answer questions rather than sitting here and guessing what people want to know. Let me know, what do you actually want to know about being an instructor? Ask me straight questions. I did make a video, I just remember this, I made a video about 6 months ago where I actually showed my income for years. I went through all my accounts, my financial accounts for years, and I showed you how much I earned, including in 2020, when it all hit the fan. But I didn't release that video. I think I've made so many. I've got about 34 videos I've made in advance I haven't released yet. But yeah, so do let me know if you want to know anything specific. Please let me know. It isn't all bad. Please don't think I'm putting you off. If you are trained to be an instructor and you think, oh no, I've made a mistake, you maybe haven't, because this is my experience, which may not be your experience. It is a great job. I've enjoyed it, but will I do it for much longer? Only time will tell. check out these other videos of mine on screen now. Have a look on my website, firstdrive.com. There'll be a link to the page in the description below about how much you can earn. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.